Today on New Comic Book Day on a Budget, I'm going to give you my top 5 picks and a bonus sleeper pick. If you're on a budget, can only afford to pick up 5, maybe 6 books each week. That and a whole lot more coming up next. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr, and this is the Small Town Collectibles YouTube channel. So before we get into my top 5 picks for New Comic Book Day, I want to ask you, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do that now. Hit that subscription button, turn on that notification bell so that you get notified when I put out new content. Smash that like button and hang around to the end of the video, and we'll announce the winner of last week's giveaway, and I'll tell you the comment to leave for this week's giveaway. So before we jump into those top 5 picks, little segment I've been adding to New Comic Book Day on a Budget is to show you the list of books that I've been reading that come out that aren't on the first appearances and key issues list each week. So let's roll that video. As you can see, I read a ton of books each week. I think I read probably 3 or 4 books every day. Kind of have it in my schedule to do so I can keep up with my reading. But yeah, a lot of great stuff, a lot of great continuing series out this week. I cannot wait to get to the LCS and jump into the new reads. So before I jump into the top 5 list, I do want to shout out channel sponsors. That Spider-Man booth and Street Level Hero LA. Of course, that Spider-Man booth has a big presence on Whatnot. Definitely go check those guys out. They're doing all kinds of fun stuff over there, and you can get some great deals on some just fire covers that they put out. And of course, they do their standard mystery box that is $35. And the current giveaway today, and that kind of changes every week, is Spider-Man #1, the Gold Edition, 9.8, signed by Todd McFarlane, signed by the Todd Father himself. So go over, pick up a couple mystery boxes, and get yourself entered to win that book. And then, of course, Street Level Hero LA, who puts out fire exclusive covers each week. This week, one of my favorite covers, I've already got it pre-ordered. That is Punisher #1. It's the Born Berendis Virgin variant. And now it's on pre-sale right now, and it comes out officially for sale on March 23rd, 2022. And it's got a price of $30, but it's an absolutely sick cover. Love it. And we've got the Strange #1 Sabine Rich trade dress that comes out on March 16th, 2022 with a price of $15. So yeah, those guys are always putting out fire covers each week. Go over, check them out, pick you something up. And if you're a member of the Comic Book Mafia, you get a special discount code to save 10% off your order. Number 5. From the creator of the best-selling comic Polar, now a Netflix hit movie starring Mads Mikkelsen, comes a new creator-owned series, a tale of crime and capes in the style of The Boys, Watchmen, and Sin City. The 90s were the most extreme age of the superheroes, but times have changed. Gavin Hart, aka Damager, now works as a bouncer in a strip club managed by the Russian mob, hangs out sporadically with his ex-Avenged lady, and wrestles with the long-term effects of his cyber implants. But fate always keeps one last cheap shot up its sleeve for a hero. So coming in at number 5 on the list this week is Until My Knuckles Bleed, #1 from Behemoth Comics, with a retail price of $3.99. Now, I put this on here primarily because I kind of dig that story, or the synopsis of, an age of superheroes that's kind of gone by, and how that superhero deals with the after effects of that. That interests me. And then because it is from the creators of this Netflix series Polar, I feel like that kind of leads you to believe that there's an opportunity that this could end up being a Netflix series as well. And so because of that, I think it's going to be a great read, and then there's a long-term opportunity for this to become a TV show and help this book gain some value. That's why I put it at number 5 on our list this week. Number 4. 1944. Imperial Japan still commands most of Asia. Determined to regain their hold on Burma, the British send a special forces unit, the Chindits, deep behind Japanese lines. Their mission is to attack the enemy wherever they find him. What awaits them is a nightmare equal to anything the Second World War can deliver. Colonel Keith Crosby and Dr. Alistair Whittemore have old scores to settle, being veterans of the long retreat through Burma 2 years before. But neither the jungle nor the foe have gotten any less savage, and when the shooting starts and the Japanese descend on the smaller British force in their midst, every man will be tested to his limit. So coming in at number 4 on our list this week is Lion and the Eagle, #1, that comes from Aftershock and has a retail price of $7.99. Now, this book comes in an oversized prestige format, and it is a miniseries from the mind of Garth Ennis. Now, Garth Ennis is one of my favorites. Absolutely dig his work on The Boys. Really, really enjoy that. And I'm all about kind of a war story, kind of a World War II type story. And I'm really looking forward to this one as a read. And then, of course, Garth Ennis being tied to it, who knows, down the road it could be a series of some kind. But that's not really why I added it to the list. I think it's going to be a really, really good read, and I'm looking forward to picking this one up this week. That's Lion and the Eagle, #1 at number 4 on our list. Number 3. If you thought the first 4 issues of the latest volume of Venom were crazy, all-out action, just wait till you get a load of this one. In this issue, Al Ewing returns to the pages of Venom, and he's brought answers to your questions with him. So coming in at number 3 on our list this week is Venom #5, and of course that's from Marvel and has a retail price of $3.99. Now, this book is the first team appearance of the Kings in Black, which are new symbiotes. So I bring this in at number 3 today because we know at some point Null is coming to the MCU. It's too big of a character not to, and it's rumored that he will. So he is the King in Black, right? So new symbiotes, the Kings in Black, could very well show up, and this could end up being a very important book for that reason. So yeah, I've enjoyed the Venom series so far. It's been okay. I'm not enjoying it as much as I did Ewing's work on Hulk, but it's still good enough to keep me going. And I think this being a first appearance and an Al Ewing title, it's pretty easy add to the list at number 3 this week. Number 2. After giving up his power to save the world, Danny Rand believes he's seen the last of Iron Fist. But when demons begin to attack cities around the world, a mysterious newcomer in a familiar mask appears, hands blazing with the chi of Shallow, the Undying. Who is the new Iron Fist? And does his power really come from the dragon of Kunlun or from something far more sinister? So coming in at number 2 this week is Iron Fist number 1 from Marvel with a retail price of $3.99. And as you heard in the synopsis, this is the first appearance of Iron Fist, a new version of the hero whose power is questionable. So why put this on the list at number 2? Number 1, the cover's fire. Like the cover A on this one is really, really cool. And anytime you're introducing a new version of a character that's that important in the Marvel universe like Iron Fist, I think it's important to pick that book up if you're a first appearance collector. Now, will this book gain any value long term? Who knows? I mentioned yesterday on first appearances and key issues, I didn't really like the Netflix series of Iron Fist, didn't really like the actor that played him. So you may see, because Iron Fist has to come to the MCU, right? At some point, they're bringing all these Netflix shows over. So who knows, this new Iron Fist, if he turns out to actually be an Iron Fist, could show up. But I still think no matter what, the fact that you're getting a new version of Iron Fist, that makes this a key book to pick up this week, and that's why I brought it in at number 2 on the list. Number 1. G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Missions Force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. Well, you know the story, but now Cobra might have found their most versatile weapon yet. Can G.I. Joe stop the Aladdin Initiative? Find out in this special Saturday morning send-up based on the classic 1980s cartoon and brought to you by the superstar creative team of Eric Burnham, Dan Showing, and Luis Delgado. So coming in at number 1 on our list this week is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Saturday Morning Adventures number 1. Now this is a 4-issue limited series that, as you heard in the synopsis, draws from the original cartoon in the 1980s. Now this pick at number 1 is absolutely nostalgic for me, and this is a completely selfish pick on my part. I am hands down, this is the book I'm the most excited for. I love G.I. Joe. I still watch that cartoon today. There is a 24-hour G.I. Joe channel on YouTube, and I probably watch it once or twice a week. I have a lot of the figures from my childhood. Like I said, very, very nostalgic for me. And I don't think this book has any long-term potential or value, but it's number 1 because I want it to be. I cannot wait to read this. Anything based off that 1980s cartoon is going to be a number 1 pick for me anytime it comes out any week. Sleeper pick. In the last decades of the 21st century, a massive solar storm hit planet Earth, destroying all technology in its way. Global communications were lost, nuclear reactors collapsed, the climate suffered the worst drastic changes, and financial systems were gone. The survivors had to adapt to the harsh new reality. New societies were built over the ruins of those that crumbled. 4 generations have passed. The mechanic Tara and her black cat Elvis accept a quick and simple repairing job in the middle of nowhere. There's something odd about this job. It's never really simple. So our sleeper pick this week is Quad number 1, coming from Behemoth with a retail price of $3.99. And this is my sleeper pick for the only reason that I think that synopsis sounds cool, and when I read it, I envisioned a TV show. And when you're kind of, specking or trying to figure out what to pick each week, that's kind of what you're looking at, right? So if you can only buy 5-6 books, what would you buy? Something that you can get a good read out of, and long term could end up being a TV show where you could maybe sell that book if you don't want to keep it in your PC and make some additional money to fund your own collection, right? To be able to buy a key book that you want. And I really like this story from Behemoth. As we mentioned earlier in our top 5, Until My Knuckles Bleed, #1, that's also from Behemoth. And we know that they have done Netflix shows before. So like I said, when I read this one, it just seemed like a TV show to me. Post-apocalyptic, you know, rebuilt generations. We've seen movies like this before. There's a Will Smith movie that comes to my mind. I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyway, that's why this is my sleeper pick this week. Can't wait to read this one. That's quad #1. All right, guys, that is my top 5 picks for this week and my bonus sleeper pick. Again, love my list this week. There's some weeks I'm not really sure, but I really dig this list. A lot of good reads, some first appearances, you know, from Marvel. So yeah, I think this is a really solid list. And if you're on a budget and can only pick up 5-6 books, I think any one of these books would be a good choice. All right, so we got a couple things left to do, right? We've got to pick our giveaway winner from last week. And the books that are up for grabs this week is the Star Wars Crimson Reign. What was that? Is that #2 or 1? Yeah, #2. So Star Wars Crimson Reign, #2. Sorry for the glare. This Geiger 80-page giant, great read. Really enjoyed that one. And then Primos, #4, which was my sleeper pick of the week last week. All right, so trying to do this a little different and actually do the giveaway here in the video. So we're going to share our screen. Let me get over there right now. All righty. So I've already uploaded the video or copied the link here, filtered the duplicate users. We had 16 unique comments, and we hit this button right here and it will pick our winner. Cole's Comic Claims, very cool. Had to grab 2 copies of Edge of Spider-Verse. Spider-Gwen is my daughter's favorite. #Comic Book Mafia. So congratulations, Cole. Hit me up in my DMs and I'll get your shipping info and get these books shipped out to you right away. All right, now, got to show you what books are up for grabs this week. So first up, we've got Crimson Reign, Star Wars Darth Vader. Just really like that cover, and I really meant to put it on the covers list last week and didn't. So I grabbed that one, love that one. And then I picked up 2 of the facsimiles. I picked up the Prophet #1 facsimile and the Edge of the Spider-Verse first appearance of Spider-Gwen. So yeah, those are the books that are up for grabs this week. So how do you get entered into the giveaway? The comment you're going to leave is the one we do every week. What is your top pick this week? I always find that interesting what everybody's, you know, picks are. If they're different than mine and what people are really aiming for. So the comment is top pick with the #Comic Book Mafia. Now you have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to hit the like button on this video. And then like I said, leave that comment. Tell me what your top pick is this week with the #Comic Book Mafia, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. All right, guys, that is it for me today. But before we close, I do want to shout out Page 3 Comics. They are the ones who donate these books that I give away each week. I don't have to pay for these, just paid to get them shipped out to you guys. Page 3 is one of my channel sponsors, and I always like to shout those guys out. They're awesome down there. JR, Randa, Todd, the whole crew, Pat, everybody down there, and I really appreciate their support for this channel. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you all have the greatest new comic book day ever. It's going to be a fun week, expensive week. If you're on a budget, stay on that budget. Hopefully this video helps you in some way. All right, guys, as we always end this thing, until next time.